Hey, good morning. Today is the day we are harvesting all of our peaches. So I have a bunch of bowls here. We'll see if this does it. I don't know. We know it's time to harvest because we've been seeing a squirrel brave our dog to sneak over to the peach tree, grab what he can, and then run back to the other tree where he lives. And so we knew that we were close. Now we're also starting to notice that there's some bite marks in some of them, and we've been coming out here and just kind of like squeezing them a little bit every day. Last night we noticed that a lot of them had some give to them. So today is the day. So Andrew's out here too, and we thought it'd be nice to just bring you guys along with us and enjoy our peach harvest. So you can see right here, the squirrels have been taste testing for us so that we know that they're ready. And we never got to thinning a bunch of this, and so there's way more fruit here than there should be regardless. So yeah, most of these are going to come down. So if you've been visiting us in our garden before, you know kind of the saga of this tree. About a year ago, it would have been a year and a half ago, two winters ago, that makes more sense. 2 winters ago, we had just a ton of rain, more than we normally do, and this tree got really bad leaf curl. So we kind of had a season where we had to wait, and there wasn't really much we could do until the following winter, where we got advice from our local, oh yeah, this came off and split, so some of these we're going to have to do something with right away. But we got advice from our local master gardeners to spray the tree with copper fungicide. So they told us to do it in a schedule that was kind of like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then end of January kind of deal, basically before the leaves came out of the tree for the next year. And we did that, but we actually missed a couple just because we were going to do it and then it rained and then we got busy. And so we did one of the sprayings on time. Oh, there's peach juice coming off of this one. Oh no. I'm trying to like not break the peach and twist it off. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Okay, so we're going to stop the twisting method and we're going to see if we can just pull these a little bit better. But so anyway, we did that. We got the last one in just because it was like raining and all of that kind of stuff when we were going to do it. Oh, nice. Can I see? Andrew just got this one. It's beautiful. Some of these are really good size. Hello, friend. It was a ladybug. And then we just did another spraying that was a little bit later than it should have been, but we wanted to try and get one more on there. Oh, that one's kind of hard. I'm going to leave it. And I am kind of squeezing these to see if they have just a little bit of give. I'm trying not to bruise them, so you have to be careful. Eventually, I will finish this story. So we did the copper fungicide, and it worked. Now, this tree still has a lot of like dead spots where things just like didn't grow super well, but it has way more green leaves than it had last year. And there's only a little bit, right here's a good example. There's only a little bit of leaves that still look like this that are all curled up and shriveled up. Most of them actually fell off this year, so it's really good. This whole peach tree was kind of this like weird orangey red last year. The other thing that we learned in just trying to rehab this tree is we learned actually that a lot of local people kind of gave up on growing peaches just because they said that they're very hard to grow, which we didn't know. We inherited this tree when we moved here, and so we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, but I'm really like glad we have it. But a lot of local people said that, you know, peach trees are really finicky. And I have since heard also from doing more research that peach trees don't last a super long time as far as fruit trees go. A lot of people only get about 10, maybe 15 years out of their peach trees. So we've definitely learned a lot in this process. Another interesting thing about the fruit this year is some of it is kind of warped. So you can see this one, it started off with these little spots on it, and then they kind of developed into this weird like bumpiness. And this one, I think it was like rubbing up against a branch and stuff too. So this one's really not a pretty one. But it's interesting too that the fruit looks like this year. Still tastes good though. And then this is taste testing from the squirrels. You know, they got to let us know when it's ready. And of course they don't finish it. They just take a couple bites and move on. I'm having to be super gentle with these just because me pulling them off is either breaking the branch or breaking the fruit on pretty much every single one that I'm pulling off. Oh, this one's definitely ready. That's too squishy. It's not the prettiest thing, but it's still very tasty, organic, homegrown fruit. Even though we've had a lot of issues with this tree and we're still figuring it out. Oh, this one's pulling up the this one's pulling the skin on the entire top of this beech. Oh no. Even though we've had a lot of issues with this tree and trying to keep it healthy, peaches are one of our favorite things that we grow in our garden. And we absolutely love them. Here's a bad one. Last year we juiced these and made a peach lemonade for one of our parties. And people talked about that lemonade all year. It was so, so good. And so that's something we kind of can't have that party without it now. And so that's something that we're definitely going to be making. And then we were talking about doing maybe some hand pies tonight. I think peach galettes would be really awesome. Over the fall time, I was making a lot of apple galettes and I fell in love with them. And I was also learning just to make pie crust from scratch. I'm learning to cook and bake. Andrew is a very, very good cook, and so he's teaching me and helping me. But yeah, we thought that that would be good. We talked about peach cobbler, of course, peach crumble, all the peach things. But I think the thing that I'm most looking forward to this year with this harvest of peaches is actually sharing them with our son. So he is starting to eat food now, and one of my favorite things is giving him food that we grew. I think it is the absolute most fulfilling thing to feed my baby things that we grew here, we took care of, we harvested ourselves, and just watching him enjoy it just gives me so much joy. I think most babies love fruit, but he's definitely a fruit monster right now, and so this is going to be really exciting. Like I mentioned, we definitely should have thinned these, and it was on our to-do list, and we just never got around to it. But it is something you definitely want to do. We did it last year, and it worked out really well. There's a couple reasons why you want to. One, you get bigger fruit. And two, when the peaches grow really close together and they're touching, a lot of times bugs will get in there. Like we had some earwigs last year that kind of got in there. Or there'll be like a bad spot on one of them and it causes both of them to kind of rot out. And so it is definitely better if they have some airflow going through them. It's also better for the tree because it can focus on growing less fruit and ripen them bigger and juicier, and they'll just overall taste better. Because I'm seeing a lot of these ones that are in clusters, they have holes and bugs and things like that. Now, if you are picking fruit and you do see like earwigs or something like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that the fruit is bad. They, from what I understand, they're decomposers, and so they eat stuff that's already bad or rotting. And what we do, and this is really just a personal choice, we'll look at the fruit that has just a little bit of damage on it and we'll kind of cut around that part and cut it out. And then stuff that's like, you know, if it's pretty gone, we're not going to touch it. We're just going to throw it in the compost. But that is a part of growing organic food, is it's not perfect like it would be in the grocery store. And everyone kind of has to make the choice for themselves what they're comfortable with, and that's what we're comfortable with. But yeah, we just like to get as much as we can out of the fruit that we grew. So we're really happy with this. This is a really good amount of peaches. Oh my god, they smell so good. I wish you could smell this. So we're gonna go and see how much this all weighs. This guy right here. He's staring us down right now, waiting for us to move away from the peach tree. His buddy's back there too. Oh, he's got a friend. Yeah, they've been braving our pit bull and everything, trying to get to these peaches. Okay, let me get this huge bowl of our kitchen scale. So right here, we are looking at 23 pounds of peaches, which is amazing. I am super happy with this, especially considering we still have another like 5 to 10 pounds of peaches on the tree. This is really fantastic. And it's definitely getting us closer to our goal of growing 1,000 pounds of food this year. The next thing that's coming up is our garlic, which that's going to be super exciting. That's going to be maybe either tonight or tomorrow. So harvesting all those peaches got us super excited. So we just decided we're not going to wait until this evening to harvest the garlic. We're going to do it right now. So here's all of our garlic. It's basically all this stuff here around all of these beds and around about half of this bed. I really like this method for growing garlic in my raised beds and just kind of putting it around the border because it's planted in the fall and then it stays until, you know, mid-spring, summer, depending on where you live. And I really like this because it stays out of the way. All of the cool weather stuff that we have in here is grown in the middle. Same thing with our summer stuff. And the garlic can be harvested without disturbing any of the other plants. So I've been doing it this way for, I want to say 3 years now, and every single year I'm super happy with it. So you know garlic is ready when the bottom leaves here start to turn yellow. And what you're looking for is usually the bottom 3 leaves to be completely shriveled and dried up like this. So we got 2 really dry ones, another one here that has a little bit of green to it, but this one here also is pretty dried on the end. And some of these are on the side of 2, but we think they're pretty ready. The tops of all these plants are starting to yellow, and so we feel pretty good about harvesting these today. All right, babe, which one do you want to pull first? You get to choose. Which one?
Oh, you mean the beds or the actual?
Yeah, which garlic do you want to pull first?
Oh, let's pull the big one.
All right, we're gonna pull the big one. All right, this is gonna be the one. You can see here it's like splitting the earth.
You don't want to pull the first one?
You got it. First garlic of the year. The neck of it is so skinny too. It's a good size one. Garlic is one of those things that I really have come to love growing it. I mean, I love eating it too. I think that it just makes everything taste better. So we go through a lot of it, but growing it has been really rewarding for me. I actually did a video last fall when we planted this exact garlic, and so I'll link that video below if you're interested in watching it. But in that, I go through just like how easy it is, exactly how I do it, what you need to know in order to plant garlic successfully. But honestly, it is super beginner friendly. And what we've done is we've just kind of grown a little bit more each year. And honestly, it's one of those crops that we don't really put any effort into past putting them in the ground and harvesting them. I think as far as activity wise, the thing that takes the most is splitting the cloves apart when you're actually planting them. And then when you're harvesting them, like I think braiding them is the most time intensive. And you don't even have to do that. I just do it because it's pretty. But garlic is one of those things, if you've never tried to grow it before, I highly recommend it. You can kind of like put it in the edges of pots. If you don't have raised beds, you can do a kiddie pool. There's just so much you can do with it. So this is what we got so far. I pulled out a half a bed and Andrew's about at a half a bed. So this is just one bed of garlic. And we have another bed and a half to go. This is the one. This is the one we're most proud of. Now, once we harvested all of this insane amount of garlic, we ended up putting it on our patio to dry for a few weeks. Now, it wasn't ideal because we did get a little bit of sun in that area. Ideally, you want them in a cool, dry, dark place, or at least just out of direct sunlight. But that was the best we could do. It was mostly out of the sun, and in our garage it would have just been too hot while they were drying. So what we ended up doing is we ended up putting a ladder, diagonal across some chairs, and laid out the garlic on that. It worked really, really well. Once it dried most of the way, so once most of the green was that you see here on the leaves was completely brown, I went ahead and braided them. Again, this is not something you have to do. I just think the braids are pretty and it's easier to store that way. And so once I did that, we ended up with about like 7 braids of about 15 heads of garlic. I wanted to do 20, but I stopped at 15 just because the braiding got so big that was about all that my hands could handle. And so now those are finishing up in the house and we're just storing them until we're ready to use them throughout the year. All right, so we're all done. You can see the beds are a lot more empty now. And then this is what we ended up with. Okay. Well, halfway. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. I don't go to the end, but my legs also aren't straight. Hold on. Okay. I think I'm at the end. So the next thing that we have to do is find a place. Baby kickles are the best. Find a place to cure all of this stuff. So yeah, we're gonna leave these to dry completely for at least, last time we did it for at least a month, and I think that works pretty well for us. And then once that's done, we'll be able to braid them all together and start using them. If you're growing peaches or garlic in your garden, I would love to know how it's going. Let me know in the comments below. And I'm just so happy that we got another chance to grow together. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, let's do this. Oh God. This is crazy heavy already.
There's more to come.
Oh no. Ugh. I'm sinking fast.
The last one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's do it. They're gonna start falling. I can't get my hands around them. I wanted to do a floret style garlic. That's intense. Oh.